What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is all about Six Nations. Once again, 6 points highlighted that took place over the weekend that were quite something, and something to talk about, especially going forward in this tournament as we look into what could be one of the most exciting Six Nations tournament that we're gonna see. I mean, we're building up to the Rugby World Cup. We've seen so much talent being shown in the Six Nations, and I mean, I don't know if everyone's recovered from the weekend. I've been down and out with the cold, but I'm back to talk about this video because it's truly was an eye-opening weekend. I mean, we saw England upset Ireland. We saw Scotland score a hat-trick in their game. We saw Wales make an unbelievable comeback. And I mean, so much more to talk about. So let's get into the 6 points highlighted for this. Now, starting off with the tabletoppers, Scotland's flower is blooming. I mean, they started off with an unbelievable performance, and it really showed a lot of heart in where Scottish rugby is at the moment, showing the domination over the Italians. Yes, like I said in the previous video, question marks about those last minutes. I reckon they should have been a bit more harder on the discipline to not let Italy get those tries in the last 10 minutes. I mean, that for me is a very important time in rugby where you can either win or lose a game. Yes, Scotland was still ahead, but they need to be aware of that, especially going on against a very wounded Irish team. So other than that, Scotland was doing well. I know Gregor Townsend was pleased with the result, but he said he could expect more. He wants to see more come out from Scotland, and I couldn't agree more. You always want to see the better, work on the weaknesses, and Laidlaw said it as well. We've got a lot to work on going forward, but obviously we'll take these positives forward and move forward with them, and hopefully pick up a couple wins going along in the Six Nations campaign. I mean, it's great to have gotten that bonus point win. I mean, for the hat-trick try that we don't often see, which is a very, very important thing, because I mean, you don't always see it, and Blair did a great job over the weekend, and it was talented tries. I mean, Finn Russell's cross kick was brilliant. Laidlaw's leadership skills was amazing within that game, so I was very impressed with the Scots. So definitely the flower is indeed still blooming. Now, the red rose, that is shining once again, and it's renewed. England were under a lot of criticism in 2018 of obviously losing the Six Nations, getting their 5th place, which wasn't great. Eddie Jones has been in the media, people have been calling for his head, but overall, after last weekend's game, England are definitely back in the contender. I mean, after this weekend, if we see Ireland have another upset, England are going to go number 2 in the world, which is truly amazing. Who would have thought? This time, middle of last year, we would have been saying that England are contenders again. I mean, it's amazing, it really is, and it's a credit to Eddie Jones and Owen Farrell and the team for coming back and bouncing back. It's been a rough ride, I think, for the English, because they've been under pressure. They've been the laughing stock. People have been calling them names. The media has been so harsh, and I think credit to them over this past weekend. And what I've really enjoyed seeing is that the respect between some, not all, Ireland and England fans complimenting one another on the performance. The Irish fans, you know, accepting defeat and giving credit to the English, and the English also being humble with their victory, which I'm very impressed with, because normally it's a lot of hate. So I'm glad to see that. Obviously there were the few whiners, but I mean, you always get that. But overall, the rose is renewed, and it's going to be an exciting year for England. They will go in as favourites now to win this tournament. They will be wanting to prove a lot of the critics wrong and continue to do so. Obviously, big news with Mara Itoje being pulled out due to injury, so that's going to be a big loss. But I mean, Vunipola, I mean, that guy is a machine. He's a monster. So they've got a lot of talent in that English squad. But obviously, Mara will be a big loss, and there's talk that he could maybe just come back towards the end of the championship. Hopefully, for England's sake, he can. But I mean, what a tournament we've got in store. And I mean, England are on fire, and Owen Farrell is looking good. And I mean, a strong English side is definitely something worth watching, because they're a bunch of talent. But I'm curious to see how they do it, or how they continue to go about the Six Nations tournament. Third point, Wales get out of jail. Now, it started off this tournament, that game was, the French were dominating. They were dominating, and obviously the intercept try definitely gave Wales the boost. The French kicking was appalling. I think I said 43% or something like that. So there's a lot to go back on this game and say what the heck was going on, and a lot of improvements needed from both teams, really. But again, taking nothing away from the Welsh, amazing comeback. To be able to have done what they did was truly remarkable. France need to definitely catch a wake up, because I'll get to that in a bit, but they need to play 80-minute rugby. But Wales have a freaking good team, and they are the talked about squad, because they've improved so well. They've just gone to a 10-match winning streak, which is absolutely unbelievable, and all credit to Wales for that. I think Warren Gatland and Jones have done a fantastic job from a leadership point of view, and I think going forward Wales will be wanting to really build on this and to attack every opportunity. It's not going to be an easy campaign. Yes, they've got Italy this weekend, but anything is possible, and Wales will want to better themselves from last weekend's performance. Again, a victory is a victory, but also they were 14-16 points down at half time, so there's a lot to improve on. They need to have a better start. They need to be more awake and open. They need to defend better and attack. So if they can work on all those procedures, then they're definitely going to be contenders. Now more than ever is a fantastic opportunity for Wales to claim a Six Nations title, because the favourites have now been defeated, so now the championship is reopened. So for me, it's going to be extremely important for Wales to really sit down and focus on the next few games. It's not going to be easy. Yes, they have the opportunity of playing at home against Ireland and England, but it's still going to be a contest. You're going to have Ireland wanting to fight, and you're going to have a strong English squad that are wanting to fight. So Wales, get out of jail free card, fine. But they have the talent, they have the squad, they have the capability of really proving a point and shining, and I really think they will. So credit to Wales, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have in store for us as we move on to Six Nations when they go into Rome. Should be an epic encounter. Next point is France sing the blues. Now, obviously, the French performance on Friday night wasn't the greatest of games. Unfortunately, they started off strong, but it just proved the old cliche of how you have to play an 80-minute game. If you don't play 80 minutes, you are not going to go anywhere, because you will lose like they did over the weekend. And this seems to be an occurrence for the French, is that they start off strong and they just battle to finish off. So their coaching staff, management, their squad, and we all know the strength within that. Well, the French squad is very, very strong. They need to also sit down and focus on what they can do forward. Really need to sit down and focus on what they can do, because it's not going to be an easy encounter. England this weekend, that's going to be tough. So they need to sit down, strategize, and see how they are going to go about this, because this is a strong English squad and they need to show up and play some good rugby and full on 80-minute rugby. If they don't do that, they're going nowhere. So it's extremely important for the French to really attack hard, play a full game. Next point, Ireland on the rebound. Now obviously the Irish having lost to England, as I've mentioned at the start, big loss for them, but I mean, we all know the capability of Ireland, what they're all about, what they stand for, how well they've done, and I think we would be fools to write the Irish off just because of one poor game. One thing's for sure, and we've seen it last year, they start off slow. They don't start off with the bag. They end off extremely well in the Six Nations, and we could see that last year. We've seen that this year. I think we think we're going to see it this year. Yes, a loss to the English, but going forward, I think we need to just now, okay, it's done. move forward. And they've got Scotland this weekend. It's going to be an epic encounter between the two nations. Scotland's going to want to prove a point, and Ireland's going to need to prove a point. They need to come back with a bang. They've got the squad, they've got the talent. They just need to sit down and focus on and strategize on what they need to do in order to achieve the goals that they set out to achieve. So it's going to be an important game for Joe Schmidt. It's going to be an important game for Sexton, for Best, for all the big boys. They need to sit down, focus, and now really hit hard against the Scottish and play a competitive game. If they don't do that, they are going to battle, and it's going to be a tough contest. Scotland's not going to be easy. Wales is definitely not going to be easy. So they need to really focus. But I really think Ireland are going to bounce back and show what they're made of. Then the final point, Italy have the fire. They have the spark. They have the moment. And why I say that, even though they lost, they dug deep. They dug deep. To have scored those tries at the end was sure, never give up attitude, pure passion for the game, love for the game, respect for the game, and for that I give them respect and credit. I think they have such a great heart for the game, and I really wish that they could bounce back and really give us a competitive game. But it's tough with Italy. But I think they've proved a lot of people wrong. I think they did better than a lot of people gave them credit for, and I think well done on scoring the tries. And it will be interesting to see how they do against Wales in Rome next week. Hopefully they can give them a run for their money, but it will be tough. But they dug deep, and for that I give Italy credit. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Something different, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any other uploads. So much more to come. Predictions soon, another few other ideas, so make sure you are subscribed. You don't want to miss out on anything. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Always appreciate the support, and to all the new subscribers, welcome to A Walking Tour with G-Man. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.